Hello there. I'm back. Hope everyone is well tonight. Welcome in, Bofa. Drukari stole the sun and I'm a little bit pissed off. How dare they? That was our sun. Can't you see that? Not there's the steal. The sun. Proper rude, you know? We're going to dive right into it. Hardy ha. The forces of chaos destroying a sun. Call that a dark heresy. I forgot to blue sky post my stream being live. I'm really bad at this. And I've been locked out for some reason. How kind. Go in live with Warhammer 40k. Rogue Trader at twitch.tv/Resinfort. I forgot to post this. Whoops. Join me now. YouTuber, Twitch. Cool. I did the thing. I don't know what way I'm supposed to go. I forgot which way I came from. I'm pretty sure I don't want to go back to the streets of the capital. And there are guards there, which make me think that's a thing I'm supposed to... No? I do want to leave, but I don't know how I leave. I'm at the starport. So I guess we need to find an intact. I think the game's very quiet. You should be getting game sound. How about now? This looks intact. The stench of bicylene and blood blankets the starport. Echoes of shouts and gunfire drift over the landing pads. The shards of plexiglass crunch underfoot. You recognize Sergeant Malgar amid the crowd huddled next to the... Oh my god, thank you so much for the raid. What the hell, Nebula? Let me turn the game volume down a bit. So I can hear myself think. Hello, welcome in. Oh my god, thank you for following videos. Thank you everyone for coming in. Oh god, I'm being observed. Hi everyone, my name is Rosenthorn. I stream a variety of games here on Twitch. Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for the raid, Nebula. And all of you. The war is hammering. We've only just started. So lots of excitement abound. And it's my birthday week. So that's fun. Birthday on the 13th. Celebrating it on the 12th. So there's going to be a fun stream then with a new model reveal. Got a new outfit on the way. Yeah, it's exciting. Very exciting. Also, I think Big Mama Chunk and Rinny, I think Rinny's, in fact, you were my 250th follower. So thank you so much. Thank you to both you and Big Mama Chunk for following. And thank you again for the raid. What were you playing? Nine Souls. Metroidvanias are evil. I've never been very good at them, but they are fun. I hope one day you can kick its ass in return. Onwards with the story. You recognize Sergeant Malgar amid the crowd huddled next to the shuttles. He was the soldier who greeted you upon your arrival on Rykad Minoris. A group of bloodied and frightened people is wedged between Malgar's wardens and the shuttles. You recognize him as the governor of the planet and the members of his high-ranking entourage. Their expensive attire has been torn in the fight, and many bear wounds left by bayonets. Governor, would you care to explain to me what's going on here? Oh! The governor turns to you but does not get the chance to say anything as Malgar strikes him with a stun baton. Don't trouble yourself, Lord Governor. I'll explain myself. Our esteemed governor and his gang of cronies have been carrying behind us, and now, when things got rough, they thought they could scalper and leave us here to die. We've shed our blood for him and broken our backs to provide for him. And after all this, you think that's fair, you piece of grok shit? Malgar's stun baton hits the governor in the chest, causing the adornments on the governor's uniform to jingle in unison.
just getting dramatic.
Thank you for the subscription, Albion. Thank you so much. The governor spits out blood and opens his mouth to respond when his head explodes. His body falls limp to the side, his remaining eyes staring upward. The chorus of the noble's screams cannot drown out the sergeant's spiteful whisper. Enough. You've said your piece. For generations upon generations, the nobles of this world cared for Rykad Minoris and ensured the prosperity of its inhabitants. And this is your gratitude, peasants? Well, of course, Nebula, if you've got a raid and run, do take care of yourself. Go get some food. Thank you so much for the raid. For generations upon generations, the nobles of this world cared for Byekad Minoris and ensured the prosperity of its inhabitants. And this is your gratitude, peasant? For killing a nobleman, you deserve to be executed where you stand. Cassia throws out a hand and Malgar's knees buckle. My mentor is right. The rabble truly have no honor. Abelard looks at the governor's body, his brow furrowed. Madness. Punishable by death. We don't have time for this. We need to get to the shuttle now. You are acting like an executioner. You think you have such a right? Malgar, now is not the time to massacre each other. It is not the first time I have done the impossible. I will get everyone out of here, including your men. I mean, I've got to go for Persuasion 100, right? Another in your position could have forgotten that the Emperor protects all of his subjects. But surely not you. It's your duty to help anyone you can. The sergeant frowns at you. I don't know why you stick up for these parasites. They never would have helped someone like me. But they don't deserve to die either. You're right about that. Not all of them, at least. A dull thud comes from the deep within the starport. Heavy footsteps shake the rockcrete, raising an unpleasant tremor in your bones. Oh no! Oh, another shuttle. I needed that. Oh my god, is that a fucking Chaos Space Marine? Oh, fucks. A single Chaos Space Marine.
Will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
The disgrace of Monarchia will be avenged.
Oh my god, the music. God, I'm so fucked. I mean, Aurora's a really cute name for a Chaos Space Marine. I give him that. Oh, this is going to go so badly. Ooh, okay, well, RIP that guy.
I won't die here. Here we go.
Did they just fucking shoot Calyx? Calyx is immediately dead.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I'll do it.
I mean, the song is incredible. I kind of don't want to talk. I'm an Argenta. Oh, fair enough.
I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally. Who, if not me? On it.
Right, just buffing the hell out of Argenta there. Get back in the fight, Calyx.
That is foolishness.
I knew that wouldn't work.
I'm not
Extra turn.
accustomed to being ordered around.
As the Emperor commands.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Cassia, it's a fucking Chaos Space Marine. It's not a job for the serfs. I'm afraid to say it's a job for you. Abelard, I feel like I probably shouldn't get you in melee distance of a Space Marine. As much as you are a tank, I don't think you've got it in you.
It will be done. Indeed. At your beck and call.
Right. Buff and debuff. Analyze. Suppose weakness. Oh.
Just a minor setback.
Well, all things considered, Abelard, you handled that really well.
Hold on.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Pain cleanses the body.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Well, shit. She's in close quarters here.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it.
Beautifully done.
As the Emperor commands.
Who even
I
taught
act.
you to fight like this?
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll make it happen. It's as good as done.
Get back into cover.
Rejoice in battle. I'll make it happen. I'll see to it. Perfect.
Oh, beautifully done, Rosalind. That was clean.
Rookies!
Sorry, Abelard.
Requests approved.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
I'm a member. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Let the cycle
It's a good work, but not by much.
I'm making up to you, Abelard. This is... Dude's so dead.
request approved.
Oh, he made it out of there alive. I think Aurora spotted the squishes.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Recognize the mandatory ocular augmentation.
There was a 0% chance it would hit him, but it still did. Argenta's just that good, apparently.
On it. I'll do it.
Open your eyes.
Why'd you keep hitting these
or
small
I'll
percentage
open
chances,
mine.
Argenta? Are you purposely trying to shoot these two? It's a big target, Voz. What are you doing?
I'll make it happen. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire. in
No,
my
I don't.
heart.
You shouldn't think my team hates each other. My team definitely do hate each other. They have 0 things in common. Besides the Emperor.
If I may,
Good one, Cassia. Just casually killing a Chaos Space Moon. Sick work, honestly. So, goddamn sniper just hiding up there like a coward.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
I hope the audio volume is good now that I've changed it. Very much appreciated if you tell me. Abelard, why don't you use your
Guided
damn
by
shield?
faith. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Worth a go.
I won't stand for it.
step aside. The navigator is coming.
Oh, Cassia, such a problematic noblewoman. We love it.
I will do my
By all
duty.
accounts, I should hate her, but, you know, I just can't.
It will be done.
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
Here we go. Brace yourself, Abelard.
Yeah, pump yourself up, dude. Come on.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone! I refuse. I'll do it.
You all really like confusing, don't you? Oh my days. This sniper
I'm
is
ready for
a
whatever
more
comes.
difficult boss fight than the goddamn Chaos Space Marine. The real boss fight is the movement speed of my teammates.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Victory is imminent. Indeed.
That'll get him moving.
Advancing.
Time to prove my mettle.
That is not the Emperor's will.
How can you not see him?
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands, I act. I am his will made manifest. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. As the
We'll get
Emperor
there.
commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Good job, gang. Life-draining sword. Heretical only. Same with the Ring with Terror. I guess we'll just put him in cargo. I have no intent to be a heretic.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Rebel sniper rifle. It would be cool to have a sniper on the team. Maybe I can pick someone to be a sniper. Or maybe I'll get one. Who knows? His colors were blazing, raging crimson. Huh. It's interesting. Right. Let's go survey the situation. Alright, gang. God, Voxmaster Vigdis is so damn cool. Thanks be to the Emperor, you are still alive, your ladyship. We are more gratified by your return. Oh, we are most gratified by your return, and the crew is full of zeal to carry out any orders you may have. Well, before anything else, I will hear an account of what happened to the system's sun. Lord Captain, we saw a number of ships approach the sun. Black creations of inhuman make, amalgams of sharp angles and edges. They surrounded the star and then... My apologies, but I struggle to find words that could describe the terrible sight. The Xenos made the sun vanish into the void. The interrogator closes his eyes and grimaces. Drukari. You see Abelard's expression change as if a shadow has suddenly fallen over him. He rubs his temple warily, as if we do not have enough troubles on our hands already. The Xenos, enemies of humanity. Heinrich nods. A breed of the Eldari, the most cruel and devious of their kind. The design of their ships matches the description provided by the Foxmaster. Like all Xenos, the Drukari are a blight on the face of the galaxy. Their technological superiority is indisputable. They abhor and fear warp sorcery, which is why they rely on creations of their twisted intellect. Many of those creations are capable of things that may seem akin to sorcery to the unenlightened eye. The theft of a son is one example of what they are capable of. Is there any chance that we could recover the Rykad star? Heinrich glances at you with weary incredulity. Are you proposing we ask for it back? No, Rogue Trader, the sun is lost. We must accept that as a fact and deal with the consequences. The situation calls for immediate action, Rosalind. We can continue this conversation later if you wish, but right now, I believe you should assume command. What is the current situation on board? The Navigator's sanctum is no longer empty, but the warp engine is still refusing to obey the engine sears. Without it, we cannot perform a warp jump. Pascal's voice buzzes anxiously from his vox. It may be angry, or perhaps it is lamenting the injuries it has suffered. I will immediately initiate preparations for a prayer service. If the Omniseer grants me comprehension, I will appease the machine spirit of this vessel. Why did you not send the shuttle to the planet for me? I do apologize, your ladyship, but we were unable to receive your requests for the evacuation. The Voxling was overrun with vile interference, screams, blasphemous hymns, and other equally sinister noises. Any who listened to the interference over a protracted period lost their sanity. Several dozen operators went mad monitoring the Voxcast in the hope of hearing your voice. Each one of them waited in vain. What is happening on the planet now? Our Augur operators are reporting numerous uprisings and other manifestations of the arch-enemy's powers at various locations on the planet. Based on the fragments of communications picked up by our Vox operators, there's practically no resistance being offered by the Governor's forces. Millions of people are converted to the blasphemous Final Dawn cult, en masse and assembling in prayer circles. Do we have any hope of retaking the planet? I fear that Byekad Minoris is lost. The situation is deteriorating by the minute. We must leave this system as soon as possible. However, there are still people on the planet who have not succumbed to heresy and who are worthy of rescue. Besides the small number of our own shuttles, we also have the shuttles salvaged from the starport. The dark eyes of the sister of Battle flash. We must save as many as we can. This has all happened for a reason. Saint Argenta, whose name I carry with reverence and trepidation, is famed for saving the people of a dying world through the power of prayer. The God Emperor himself sent a star from the heavens that lifted the saint and her followers up to the sky, away from corruption and death. We must do as she did, direct all our efforts to saving those people who are at this moment looking to the heavens in hopes of salvation. All in all, today's been a bit of a bummer, sir. The lives of peasants are of little value. Our prime objective is to save the Holy Relic, the miraculous fusion reactor, and the Electro priests who guard and tend to it. Abelard furrows his brows. Every moment we spend in proximity to a dying world, we are putting ourselves at risk. Your life, Lord Captain, is far more valuable than all of Rykad Minoris. The Von Valentius dynasty cannot be allowed to perish. And so, lamentable though it is, we must rule out the idea of any evacuation. They really like to take their turns, the NPCs, don't they? Heinrich's eyes, like two deep dark pools, are resolutely fixed on you. The world is doomed, and its inhabitants along with it. The disappearance of the star was the final nudge towards death, the finale of the Cult of the Final Dawn's plans. I once witnessed a similar event, a world that had surrendered to the servants of the archenemy and permitted corruption to enter too deep. At this moment, millions of people are bowing down before those who promised them salvation, and they are willingly giving over their souls to chaos, a sacrifice great enough to bring forth a demon world. Our only hope of stopping this process is to retreat to a safe distance from the planet and conduct targeted bombing of the Electric Priest Monastery. If we blow up the reactor, a thermonuclear reaction will follow. The world's oxygen will evaporate, killing off the entire biosphere. In doing this, we will save millions of souls from a fate far worse than death, and we will save Rykad Minoris from becoming an outpost of the archenemy. By Warhammer standards, that's probably the smartest plan. It's not the best plan. Well, no, it's probably the best plan. It's probably the best plan and the smartest plan by Warhammer standards, but it's also the most brutal plan. Whatever fate you choose for this world, I urge you to make haste, Lord Captain. The planet is burning in raging flashes of crimson and purple. I can see it even from orbit. As do I see that the storm is already upon us. With every moment that we waste, it grows even more difficult and perilous to steer the ship through the warp's turbulent currents. I would delay thee on this. Enough talking. We need to get out of here while we still can. Something lurking in the depths of your consciousness bristles at the passing thought of saving people. The spike of horror you feel takes your breath away. It is as if you were planning to steal the prey of a mighty predator. The planet is already wrapped in a thread stretching out from the warp. It deserves to have a new master. Before I make the decision, which of the planet's inhabitants can we evacuate? The nobles you've rescued at the starport have given the coordinates of shelters where we can find surviving aristocrats and their families. As for Sergeant Malgar's troops, they will help to control the crowds of frightened commoners and prevent shuttles from being overloaded. Thanks to you, we have salvaged many shuttles from the starport that we can now use. Listen, it might be fucked up to blow up a planet. However, it's more fucked up to just let chaos be there and do fucked up stuff. Lesser of two evils. Set an optimal course and carry out an orbital strike on the Electric Priest Monastery. Byekad Minoris must fall. Yes, Lord Captain. I will immediately inform the navigation and artillery decks of the impending maneuver. Henrik inclines his head. The right choice, Lord Captain. May the sacred exterminatus cleanse this veil of corruption. The bridge is in upheaval. The technomat's prayers mixed together in a senseless cacophony, while servitors work hastily to remove a hardened crust of sacred unguents from the warp engine's components. In the middle of all this tumult stands Pascal, with a data slate clutched in his hands, seemingly disconnected from the flurry of activity around him. Pascal's probably not super happy that we're going to blow up the temple. Majos, if you do not bring this situation under control, we will all perish. Act swiftly. Pascal shoots you a look of fierce pride and says with gravity, "You are right. This is my temple. Its vox booms with power. Check, comrades. Heed my instruction. The mayhem immediately subsides and the crew's actions fall into some indiscernible logic. The Omnissiah's servants start working in sync, and the binary clamour becomes a symphony of reports, which the Matrios coordinates with like a skillful conductor. Admirably done, Pascal. The Omnissiah guides me. The prayers of the tech priests surrounding the cogitator almost drown out the sounds of the bustling bridge behind you. Pascal, poring intently over the data in his hands, extends a mechandrite towards you. Please take your place at the cogitator, Lord Captain. Explain what we're doing. I studied the data and discovered a machine node that was damaged as a result of the heretic sabotage. The functioning of the warp sextant was tampered with, and the ship's spirit, aggrieved by this violation of the right of operation, is now rejecting its calculations. I sought a way to rectify this error, and have concluded that your participation is necessary to do so. The cogitator systems of this temple of the Omnissiah are subordinate to the shell whose repository serves the machine we see before us. A machine created for your predecessor, and one that uses the biological signatures of dynastic blood in its computations. The spirit should recognize the ship's mistress and submit to her will. Should. Pascal speaks the final word with a slight tremor in his synthesized voice. That should sound less than reassuring. That should sounded less than reassuring. Lord Captain, I am still poorly acquainted with this void ship. The acolytes here have adopted their own customs for conversing with machine spirits. They do not know me, and they express themselves in a little-known dialect of Technolingua. I will trust in the Omnissiah that my analysis of the data was correct. It means we have a chance of appeasing the ship's spirit. Alright. The huge machine in front of you is lit with dozens of fit screens and hundreds of lumens. The blinking lights, an endless rush of symbols and digits on the green background make your eyes water, and a vague sense of alarm simmers in the depths of your mind. The typical reaction of a layperson when confronted with the magnitude of the Omnissiah's creation. Among the numerous controls, you see the mouth of a cyber gargoyle, same as at the gate to the warrant chamber. Pascal's voice becomes imbued with imperious force. Servants of the machine god, heed my command. Acolytes, prepare the incense instrumentation for the liturgy of machine spirit propitiation. Senior technomats recite the prayer to generate a current data report. Operations will be marked with the campanological protocol Omnissiah Rejoice. I must inform you that for the purpose of safety, complete reassembly of the warp sextant and updating of its datasmith blessings are required. If this is not done, then at launch, the volume of aggregate calculation errors could result in the destruction of the data crypts. But as we do not have 100 hours at our disposal, we must omit this procedure. Pascal looks down at the data slate in his hands. A minor deviation from the right of operation for the sake of appeasing the spirit. What must I do? Place your hand inside the throat of the cogitator guardian, the cyber gargoyle, which has been assigned to guard the forbidden data crypts. The dynastic blood extracted from your veins will serve as a key to the data core, where the machine spirit dwells. To it, we will offer our prayers so that we may bypass the protective protocol for defective connections and launch the warp sextant. Pascal's voice grows quieter. The laws of the Omnissiah know no exceptions. So in this ritual, I will remain at your side to placate the wrathful machine spirit in whose abode you will be intruding. Follow my liturgies, Lord Captain, and may we receive his blessing. Place your hand in the cyber gargoyle's mouth. The metal jaws clamp down on your hand, breaking your delicate corporeal sheath and releasing warm red liquid into its gullet. At the same time, the image on the vid screen before you changes. Technobabble. What does it all mean? At the sound of your voice, the cogitator's servant, whose bronze-bound skeleton is built into Cogitator's housing, shudders. With a screech, its skull rotates towards you and then stops in that position. Benevolent code of voice receptor. Pascal emits a sequence of binary signals and then is silent for several seconds. I hypothesize that the defect is located in the analyzer block. A register reaction to the signal, but no processed response. A temporary override is permissible. The Magus intently studies the vidscreen. The shell is created on a forge world unknown to me, initiating standard invocation of the machine spirit. Pascal leans over the adjacent instrument panel and sets his hand on the controls. At the same time, a quiet stream of machine code begins pouring forth from his vaults. Reach out and touch the keys on the instrument panel. Technobabble. I shouldn't touch stuff. Lord Captain. Pascal stops and then continues more calmly. Please, we will anger the machine spirits before we have removed the restriction. Lord Captain, I now ask you to address the machine spirit. Speak the following command. By my authority, I revoke the inviolability protocol of the warp engine. Oh, Lucius. Hello, let me turn the volume down a little bit so I can hear. Hello, Lucius. Hello, hello. Welcome in. I hope you had a lovely stream. Hello, everyone. If you don't know me, my name's Rosenthorn. I stream here on Twitch. I play a variety of different games. And I hope you're all having a lovely day. We're playing some Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader today. So it's a lot of me yapping because I'm reading dialogue. What were you playing, Lucius? Hope you had a wonderful stream. This is going to be it's been a good week for me. I've got my birthday coming up on the 13th. I'm going to be celebrating it with a new model reveal on the 12th and a big collab of Super Battle Golf. Callisto Protocol. I feel like I know that name. Is it like a puzzle game? Or am I misremembering that? Oh, Old and Tide is in demand though, Lucius. Don't worry. No, Callisto Protocol is not a puzzle game. Like I'm mixing it up with another one. It's a horror game. That's very much not a puzzle game. I'm thinking of another one. Oh, spooky time. Oh, fellow June baby. When? Do you share your birthday? I was about to ask when is your birthday, but I'm probably thinking the Talos Principle. Yeah. It did look very Dead Spacey when I googled it. The 20th. A little bit earlier than you then. Yes, even though my birthday is on the 13th, I don't have time on the 13th to stream, so I'm celebrating it on the 12th. And if I stream for long enough, I'll hit the 13th anyway. Because it'll be like midnight. Yes, I'll be doing community games from 6 PM BST on Friday for about 2 hours. And then there'll be Super Battle Golf with a ton of amazing guests. You can find more information on my Blue Sky. I have a Discord if you type ! Discord. All that jazz. But yes, if you have to raid and run, please do. You should take care of yourself, first and foremost. And thank you again for the raid. By my authority, I revoke the inviolability protocol of the warp engine. One of the cogitator's vid screens turns red. Pascal sees this and raises his hand, signaling to the rest of the tech priests, and withdraws a connector from his sleeve and connects it to the machine. Servants of the Omnisia, make now the offering of cleansed data crypts to the machine spirit, so that it may be filled with their true and calibrated data. May the Omnisia have mercy on our souls. In meek solemnity, the acolytes offer up the cleansed data crypts to the warp engine one after another, repeating prayers of exaltation. After anointing the contacts with sacred unguents, Pascal inserts them in the cogitator's slots. Your head begins to spin from the holy sensor's foul-smelling clouds of smoke, and from the loss of blood that the cyber gargoyle continues to drink from you, and the world swims before your eyes. Let this mechanism awake in renewed purity. Pascal enters a sequence of commands and raises his hand. Watching the vid screen, suddenly he stops dead. No. His fingers fly over the command runes, entering command after command. His mechandrites, clicking their pincers, pull at one lever after another. The vid screens fill with strings of symbols, completely incomprehensible to you, but clearly conveying something to the Magos. What is happening? After a few seconds, one of the data crypts mounted on the cogitator begins to emit sparks. A moment later, another data crypt does the same. The next bursts into flame and gives off foul-smelling smoke. Around you, the Omnisia's servants break off from their prayers, and someone bursts into frantic pleading. Do you think maybe the machine spirit doesn't like that we might be trying to blow up a holy relic? Would it know? It probably knows. It seems to know everything. Pascal mournfully grates out. The massive errors and the warp sextant's calculations is destroying the data repositories. The offering did not appease the ship's spirit. The warp engine cannot be filled with the motive force. We are trapped. A moment later, the Magos continues uncertainly. Perhaps an alternative Ryzen protocol? Or an emergency launch of the auxiliary coils? The tech priest bends over the cogitator, but something in his pose and movements reveal his desperation. While the other vid screens are filled with more and more strings of symbols, the monitor in front of you blinks and its static image changes. Pascal is too engrossed in his ritual to notice. Read the information on the vid screen. I don't know what it means. Machine spirit, can you hear me? The cogitator's servant creaks quietly in its joints. A sound is drowned out by the binary hymns and tapping of the command runes. Injury. Rescue. Query. Sure, let's do a bit of roleplay. Oh, hallowed machine spirit, in the name of the Omnisia and the Emperor, reveal unto us your power and guard us against our doom. Pascal echoes your sentiments with the triumphant sounds of a binary hymn. Pascal's next vocalization goes unsynthesized as he sees the vid screens beginning to stabilize one after another. The strings frenetically galloping across the green background are replaced with stable images or regularly updating status reports. Only one monitor remains inexplicably red. The tech priest Vox, apparently if you just suck up to the machine spirit, it loves it. The tech priest Vox crackles in shock. His report is as clipped and clinical as ever. Registering. Warp sextant activated. Registering. Data stream stabilizing. Registering. 0 data errors found. Reporting. The warp engine is ready for translation. After a pause, Pascal nods. I'm also reporting evidence indicating a Category 3 miracle fulfilling the criterion. Thou shalt witness the mechanism that toils in glorification of its function and in defiance of deactivation. Lord Captain, Raver here. The crew are almost finishing carrying out the orders given earlier, and I've just received confirmation from the engineering halls. I don't know what you did, but the warp engine's up and raring to go. We're ready to begin translation to the warp, your ladyship. The Lord Captain speaking. I give the order to commence translation to the warp. Waiting for you to ascend the captain's throne, Lord Captain. May the Emperor protect us. We're going warp traveling, baby. Alright, sorry Rykad, but had to be done. Exterminatus that bitch. It hasn't even got a sun anymore. It was going to die anyway. I don't think I've ever watched a warp jump in a video game before. So this is going to be neat. Like, I've not seen one visually. Byekad. Rykad is now very Minoris in multiple pieces.
The Von Valancia's flagship made its way out of the doomed star system. As the void ships plunged deeper into the Coronis expanse, the rogue trader's subjects bid a formal farewell to the late head of the dynasty, Theodora von Valancius. Having paid their last respects, the crew gathered their strength and braced themselves for whatever was to come next.
Chapter 1 completed. Lord Captain, allow me to report. Our journey for the warp is coming to an end. Lord Navigator Orcelio informs me that we have reached the point where we can translate to real space in the Furibundus system. Lady Navigator and her pilots are awaiting your permission to begin the process. The Furibundus system is the home to Footfall, the only Imperium outpost with a functioning wharf in the Coronis expanse. The tech priests are begging you to have mercy on the machines worn down by the warp and to allow the servants of Omnicia to inspect and heal the void ship's wounds in the dock. The prayers and rituals will take some time, which our astropathic choir will use to establish a connection with the prime worlds of your protectorate, Dargonus, Janus, and Kiava Gamma. Master Zachary Weiss has recovered an invitation previously adrift in the Immaterium. The Liege of Footfall has humbly requested an audience with the rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. According to Master Zachary, the message was tinted with shades of pleading. I quote, apparently the Liege is anxious to meet as soon as possible. Footfall, the place where filth and sanctity go hand in hand. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso will most likely expect a visit from me. I imagine he will be interested in talking to you as well, Rosalind. I will be leaving your void ship when we arrive on Footfall, Rosalind. Once that is done, consider the Lord Inquisitor's task complete. I hereby inform the rogue trader that during a comprehensive system inspection raid, this unit discovered data clusters within the captain's cogitator that are concealed from prying eyes by means of a personal cipher and a sacrament of algorithmic authorization. Unit Rosalind von Valancius has been added to the access list and assigned the identifier Keeper 2. The unit can access the data from the captain's cogitator, provided that she possesses the decryption key. You detect the hint of something resembling curiosity in Pascal's mechanical voice. Are you leaving us, Heinrichs? The arrangement between the Lord Inquisitor and your predecessor was that I be transported to Footfall and no farther. I dare not take advantage of your generosity and patience any more than I already have, Rosalind. You're a skilled fighter. I could use people like you. Would you say we extend your stay in my retinue? Well, I saw that coming. I mean, all you really did, Heinrichs, was get your ass blasted by a Chaos Space Marine. That's pretty much all you did in your time with me. So really, see ya. You did a bit of flirting in the weird Warhammer-y kind of way. Then you got blasted by a Chaos Space Marine. Then you told me to exterminate us as a planet, and then you said bye. What a character. Argenta, who is this Reverend Hieronymus who wishes to talk to me? He is the head of the Drusian mission on Footfall, and one of the most prominent clergymen in the sector. Paying him a visit is a good thing for any loyal son of the Emperor to do. I assisted his mission before I joined Lady Theodora on her voyage. I need his blessing to accompany the new rogue trader of the Von Valentius dynasty. If you wish to have me aboard your void ship, I request that we meet with Reverend Hieronymus. Abelard, do you know anything about the Liege of Footfall? Vladimir Tukara is a very peculiar young man. Consider your upcoming conversation a baptism of fire in Footfall's political arena. Such things are not spoken out loud, but Liege Tukara is the appointee of the Casbala Commission, the largest robber baron crime syndicate in the Calixis sector. They specialize in the coal trade, the buying and selling of all kinds of Xenos rubbish. Footfall was previously run by a liege who did business with several criminal factions at once, but he suffered an accident. The reins of power were picked up by Vladimir Tukara, whose appointment benefits not only the Casbalica, but also the most powerful ally in the Cronus Expanse, rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. Vladimir is a slippery yet very cautious fellow. He does not usually beat around the bush, and does not play mind games. Perhaps more importantly, he is no fool. Fools do not rise this high in the Casbalican hierarchy. Keep all this in mind. You are a rogue trader. You stand above him in status and wield considerable power. Having said that, history has seen cases where the Casbalican barons crossed swords with rogue traders and emerged victorious. Do not forget that, and remain vigilant. The Casbalica, vile tech thieves. Pascal's Vox barks out the last word like a profanity. Victus, tell me about the system we are arriving in. Abundance is valuable due to its proximity to the Maw, the gateway to the Imperium. The system is mostly known for Footfall, the main base for merchants, privateers, and rogue traders traversing the Coronis Expanse. Additionally, the star itself is orbited by an Adeptus Mechanicus station, which is off limits to outsiders. Alter Templum Calixus X-17. I had the honor of tending to this shrine for a few thousand cycles. I suggest you abstain from visiting it as most tech comrades at the station are engaged in meditative calculations that should not be interrupted. What do I know about Footfall? What should I need to know about Footfall? It's the largest port and trading capital of the Coronis Expanse. It has a dockyard that would allow us to inspect and repair the void ship, and it boasts its own astropathic choir, the Coronis Expanse Communications Network. Not to mention pirate hideouts, smuggler caches, and forts belonging to a dozen gangs, groups, and factions. In the Coronis Expanse, the Imperium relies on this as its outpost. The fringes of humanity's domain rarely resemble its central worlds. But so long as Footfall serves the God Emperor, insofar as it can, it will be considered a citadel of the Imperium. Although, I have heard that the tithes it sends are underwhelming, to say the least. Due to Footfall's remoteness, it has developed its own rules and customs. Many of the goods that could be procured there would be considered heresy at the heart of the Imperium, enough to warrant summary execution. Moreover, Footfall is the domain of the rogue traders, who transcend certain Imperial laws by virtue of the warrant they bear. Footfall is just a brief stop. What next? As soon as we solve the issues plaguing the ship and establish connection with the key worlds of your protectorate, the time will come for your Magnae Accessio, the official ceremony of donning the mantle of the rogue trader. It is mostly a formality at this point. You already possess all the privilege granted by the warrant. and yet it is a major milestone in your personal history. The moment your name graces the lists of the heads of the Von Valentius dynasty. We are looking forward to that day, Lord Captain. Why does the Liege want to see me so badly? Not you personally. He wishes to meet with the rogue trader of the Von Valentius dynasty. Tokara does not know that Lady Theodore's death and is simply seeking an audience with the powers that be. My gut is telling me that something must be very wrong on Footfall if our astropath managed to read such strong emotion in such an anodyne message. We have no information, Lord Captain. The broadcast from the Footfall Astropathic Choir was only a missive, was the only missive Master Zachary has received lately. How did Lady Navigator give her leave to make the translation from the warp into real space? Ignis begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift to real space, and measured chanting fills the corridors to safeguard the vessel and its crew. Ignis turns to you again. One more thing, Lord Captain. No one at the station knows about Lady Theodore's demise and you inheriting the title. Liege Tokara will be informed. It is required so we could use the dock. And besides, he is expecting a personal audience with the road trader. He will not meet with an unknown person of unclear standing. However, there is still a matter of announcing your arrival. You can either arrive at the station with the proper pomp and ceremony, or choose to visit it incognito. Let me detail how these choices will benefit me. According to Footfall's unwritten laws, rogue traders enjoy special privileges that exceed even the power of the Liege. However, they may choose not to exercise those privileges in certain situations. Arriving incognito will give you more room for maneuver, while an official visit will allow you to directly intervene in local affairs. I shall explain if you do not mind. As per this unwritten rule, every rogue trader arriving at the station has the right to veto any of the Liege's decisions. But there is a catch. The Coronis Expanse is home to several influential rogue trader dynasties, and Footfall is where their interests intersect. Of course, that does not prevent certain persons, namely Caligos Winterscale, from subtly pulling the strings on Footfall. If you, as a new rogue trader, start your career with an official landing and a parade in your honor, the other dynasties may see this gesture as the newcomer challenging their spheres of influence. I do not see that as a bad thing, necessarily. Old Man Winterscale may take slight offence. Shorter will be put on her guard. But you have just risen to prominence, and most people in the Cronus Expanse have not even heard about Lady Theodore's departure yet. It must be made clear that the banner of Von Valentia soars as high as ever. If I may, I would recommend arriving incognito. You will have plenty of opportunities to savor the sweetness and the burden of power. Right now, the last time you can take refuge in obscurity. This way, your arrival will not draw much attention, and the people will treat you as a person, and not the almighty sovereign anointed by the Emperor. It could turn some situations to your advantage. So initially, I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to arrive with pomp, because I feel like that would track. But I also think it would track if I get to spring it on people later. Like, I can kind of, like, show up a bit incognito. People will just think, oh, who's this bitch? And then I go, well, guess what? Rogue trader, baby. Check out my warrant. I will arrive incognito. It will be done, Lord Captain. With your gracious permission, I will return to my duties. Rosalind has never been a particularly pompous person. She's pompous to a degree. She's not going to be pompous to the point that it might affect her ability to do her job, I would say. Rank up time. Whenever the officer targets an ally with an action, that ally's resolve is increased by +1. What I love about that is it says I can also attack them, which is very Warhammer-y, that I can increase their resolve by assaulting them. Half of the bonus granted by voice of commands remains until the end of combat. This bonus is not stacked with itself or with bonuses granted by voice of command, but does count as an officer ability effect for the purposes of other talent effects. So basically, if I'm switching voice of command between different characters, they will always have that bonus remain, half of the bonus remain. Neat. I don't think I often switch who I'm voice of commanding there. I tend to make it like Argento or someone who's going to shoot a lot. Whenever the officer uses 2 officer archetype abilities that do not grant an extra turn in 1 round, the officer gets a stand witness effect. So it will also affect... Oh, lead by example, that makes sense. So I will also gain the effect granted by my ability, so long as it's not an extra turn. Same with March. Gain fellowship from attacking. The officer and allies with the voice of command effect deal an additional 14% damage to enemies that have not yet acted. I kind of feel like Fortress World wasn't a great combination with Officer unless I'm missing a good build here. Unless I'm missing a key detail in making a good Fortress World Officer build. I feel like Fortress World requires a lot of gunfire, but I need to spend my turns buffing allies, so I'm not shooting much. And I'm really bad at shooting. Whenever the officer uses an ability on an ally, that ally gains a bonus to their perception and ballistics skill equal to 4. The bonuses stack, but they are lost at the end of the target's turn. So if I pile a bunch of officer abilities onto one ally, they'll get a bunch of perception and ballistic skill. Oh, could I get bolt weapons? That'd be kind of sick. And I know I already use a chain weapon. I could increase my weapon skill. I feel like I need to up my gun ability, right? Like I'm doing good buffing. Like I've got a bunch of buffs that I can give allies. I want to be able to shoot my... I was about to say I want to be able to shoot myself. I want to be able to do my own shooting from time to time. So I already have bolt weapon proficiency, actually. I got that with my last level up. So I could just up my weapon skill. What's it at already? Oh, that's for melee. I don't think I can really buff my combat much more. Recommended features. Temporary wounds you can't go wrong with. More range, voice command. I mean, focus seems really good. Because I do tend to stack all the buffs onto one character to get them ready for a good turn. Grant temporary wounds. I mean, Blood of Martyrs, Focus and Inspire Courage seem good. I'm gonna do Focus. And up my Persuasion. Oh, I had 2 level ups. I guess we did a big chapter change, didn't we? I'll start my own willpower. When all stacks of never stop shooting should be lost, they become 16 stacks instead. Additionally, a fortress character may upgrade their willpower characteristic even if their current archetype does not allow it. Hello, Big B. Welcome in. The character can attack with the second weapon in their current weapon set in addition to the usual 1 attack per round. This attack suffers a -20 penalty to weapon skill and ballistic skill and costs 1 AP more. So I can do both. Never stop believing. What I do want a reminder of is how Never Stop Shooting works. Each time a Fortress World character kills an enemy, they gain +10 stacks of Never Stop Shooting. At the start of their turn, there is an equal % chance that the first attack this round will cost 0 AP and will not count towards the attack limit per turn. Basically, yeah, you hold the trigger and you don't let go. You get a kill, it builds up stacks, and then that gives you a chance to have a free shot. And if you're lucky, that's lots of free shots. Right, Abelard, your turn for level up. I mean, thick skin. Abelard's our tank. Easy. Strength and I'm tired. Ooh.
That's my girl.
An Imperial World character is affected by an ally's non-damaging ability or affects an ally with such an ability, their resolve is increased by 1 for 1 round. I do buff him sometimes, so we can do that. We're going to give her the Blood of Martyrs one that I was considering. Armor reduction. Sounds good. Especially if I can do the big AoE stare and damage a bunch of enemies. It'll like weaken all their armor. Expose weakness costs 0 AP. Hell yeah. Up the ballistic skill. Pascal's melee attacks apply the machine spirit communion effect on all attacked enemies. Manipulator push. Ah. I'm going to do acceleration protocols and get that extra movement speed at the start of battle. Be good for him. He does some strong melee. I mean, I presume something's going to happen to make the Inquisitor want to stick around. Because why am I leveling him up if he's just got like a temporary character? Whenever the warrior is attacked, they gain +1 stack for epicenter of slaughter. I'm trying not to make him... We've already got like a tanky warrior, so I want him to be more like damage dealing. Desolation. He can target enemies that are like on their own. Like a duelist, you know? More damage to adjacent enemies. Cover efficiency is increased. Adds to soldier deals damage to 3 different enemies. More damage for their next attack in the current combat. The first hit of each ranged burst attack deals additional damage equal to the weapon's current rate of fire. Yes. Yes, please. Hmm. To make her good against Xenos and Heretics and all that. Just makes sense, doesn't it? It's been a while since I leveled up, leveled her up, isn't it? Chain reaction. Excess damage will be dealt to the enemy closest to the target. Oh yeah. I can see that being incredibly good. Buffing weapon skill and ballistic skill seems really damn good. Upgraded to Byekad Minoris. Right. We're going to take a quick break. I will be back. So do stick around. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream tonight. Rogue Traders are very kind of... I do a lot of talking and focusing on the game because of dialogue. So I hope that's cool. It does my voice in. I tell you that much. Wish I could voice act. I'll make it a lot more fun, wouldn't it? If I could actually mimic the characters. I do my best. I do my best. Right. I will see you all in just a short little while. I'm just going to take a quick break. Hello again. How's everyone doing? Hope you're fine. Did you have a good stretch, rest, get some water? Or were you lazy and did you stay sat down while you waited for me? How very naughty of you. Let's get back into it. We have shit to do. Such as go to Footfall. Or I can speak to High Factotum Janris Standrock. That would be fine too. Wherever they be. Right here. Apparently. The corpulent man in lavish clothes bows before you, not without difficulty. Zero's skull whirs over his shoulder while the fingers of his augmented hand drum against the sheaf of papers he is holding. And he regards you with attentive interest through the lens of his magnifying implant. Greetings, your ladyship, Janris Danrock at your service. Ignis informed me about a problem with the servitors. What happened? You see, your ladyship, the ship's servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt their tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically, with no meaning or purpose. Janrock nervously pulls on his luxurious frock coat, as if it were uncomfortably tight. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided on the fate of these servitors myself. But I deemed it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behaviour before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments pending your decision. Pascal Hanneman expressed a desire to be present during the inspection should it be carried out. I suppose the expertise of the esteemed magus may come in handy. I wish to look at these servitors before deciding their fate. As you wish, your ladyship. Would you like the engine ship prime to accompany you? Yes, Pascal shall come with me. As your ladyship commands. Oh. It's this kind of scene. They couldn't afford the budget for an entire room full of engine what's it, servitors? That would be a bit much. When her ladyship arrived at the scene, she found the servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been corralled into the bay, all standing in a long spiraling line and facing the centre of their strange formation. The moment her ladyship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion, all as one, as if obeying a command. The servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for their weapons. But then the servitors went still, just as abruptly, staring at her ladyship with vacant eyes. All present held their breath. Disturbed by this sight, he waited for the Lord Captain to speak. Her ladyship, Rosin von Valentius, took several steps towards the servitors. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfect unison. They mimicked her movements with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place, and after a moment's thought, waved her hand. The servitors, just as synchronously, repeated that gesture as well. And the Lord Captain turned quizzically to the technomats. So did the servitors, as if mocking her. Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it an incline of the head, a wave of the hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed this mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute, until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. The Lord Captain examined the servitors. As High Factotum, it was I who had prompted that entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain. As we stepped forward, we noticed a fascinating irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under their copper collars, inscribed with their past offences. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. A visibly shaken technomat behind us proposed the human souls had awakened within the servitors' bodies after a long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the technomat added that the servitors used to function properly, and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behaviour. Her gaze was still trained on the motionless, animate half-machines and half-people. The Lord Captain stepped away from the servitors. All present held their breath. Stirred by this sight, we waited for the Lord Captain to speak. Her Ladyship Rosalind von Valentius gestured for her Engineer Prime to steady the servitors. The Engineer Prime slowly waded into the motionless ranks of the servitors, peering into their faces and checking their readings. There was no haste in Pascal's actions. With mesmerizing diligence, he inspected every single unit in his path, and binary prayers were his companions in this investigation. The examination confirmed the technomat's initial hypothesis. The servitors' souls, or rather, the souls of the people they once were, had awakened. Not yet fully conscious of their past and present, these half-machines could nonetheless feel primitive emotions and sensations, such as fear and pain. This undesirable consequence of shoddily performed lobotomy is most rarely observed, and yet, for some unknown reason, it occurred in every single one of the servitors gathered in the bay. That's terrifying to know. That every single one of those lobotomized servitors is now aware of itself. Oh dear. I'm demanding a report on the defective unit status from the technomats. The technomat's long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single key point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behavior, they were still quite capable of carrying out tasks, and therefore the circumstances did not call for their termination. Disassemble that man. A group of technomats hurried to act upon the Lord Captain's command. The servitor's mechanical parts separated with clicks, snaps, and hisses. The sutures between its wrinkled pale flesh and its organs were laid disgustingly bare. We watched the technomats do their work and could see every centimetre of the servitor's stiff muscles abounded with valves and cavities pierced by countless cords and tubes. This assembly and analysis complete, the technomats concurred. The unit was in working order. Nothing in the dissected body that lay before us could provide any insight into the reason behind the defects. I should make note of one more thing. At that moment, all of us present discovered that not just the eyes, the hands and heads of some of the servitors were now shaking too. It was as if the mechanized servants were overcome with some primordial terror. Probably watching one of them get dismantled. The ladyship looked at me with unwavering resolve, and it was with confidence that wrenched me out of the nightmarish stupor that had tensely Oh, and it was that confidence that wrenched me out of the nightmarish stupor that had me tensely observing the scene unfolding before me. The Lord Captain gave the order. It does feel unbearably fucked up. But it's worth noting, I suppose, that when we dismantled one of them, the rest seemed to get scared. So they have some awareness of... I guess they didn't like that. In line with my decision of what to do with Rykad, I would want to spare them of potential suffering and torment. The Lord Captain's command was executed post-haste. Guards, execute him. Guards, execute him. The Lord Captain's command was executed post-haste. All defective units were incinerated in furnaces and their remains were expelled into the void. The crew was provided with replacement servitors and soon forgot all about the destroyed unit's peculiarities. Yet, this incident haunts my memories to this day. With defective servitors decided, nothing could now distract the Lord Captain from her mission. Yeah, I think just scrapping them so they can, you know, not suffer in torment would be a lovely choice. And while Byekad Minoris, the destruction of it was treated as dogmatic, I had a similar philosophy where chaos would have control of the planet no matter what, and chaos would do fucked up things to people. So it's probably better we just don't let them. So blowing it up felt more like an act of mercy than just leaving, even though it was technically dogmatic. Because I'm just going off of Warhammer morals, right? Like in real life, it wouldn't be an act of mercy to like duke an occupied territory, right? That's just fucked up. But do I still have the wait screen music playing? This whole time? Shit. Has that been like... How long has that been playing? Has that been like... You should have said something. Why would... There'll be like 2 layers of music. Oh, I guess you did say something. Lo-fi music for deciding fates. Right. That must have sounded terrible. There's like Warhammer choirs and then... You couldn't hear the game one. Oh. Well, that sucks. I thought you were jamming to how good the music was in game. But no, you were having to put up with my stupid wait screen music. Sorry about that, everyone. That was probably like a bit of a mess for the senses, having like game audio and also wait screen audio. Hey, Cassia. What's up?
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Hello to you too. Oh my. We've spoken once. Tell me about yourself.
I am a part of House Orselio, an ancient dynasty of the Navis nobility. Since time immemorial, our family has served to advance knowledge, pushing at the boundaries of the dark unknown. The Starway Atlas contains 2,843 routes that chart the sectors of the Segmentum Obscurus and reach all the way from the Coronis Expanse to Holy Terra.
I like this is she kind of feels like if a pixie dream girl, manic pixie dream girl was like Warhammer. Navigators identify so strongly with their house. It must be difficult for you not to be able to learn to lean on your elders. You have my word that I will look after you. That feels. I had it at. Sure.
You will? That would be most appreciated, Lord Captain.
Oh, she liked it. Hell yeah. So you've never lived anywhere other than Uric 5?
Hardly. According to the chronicles of the house, I was born on one of the Orselio worlds. Oh, what was it? Please forgive me, Lord Captain. My childhood memories are too vague. Sometimes I dream about the colorful birds that built their nests in the garden, or the servants dressed in purple livery, or the blue fog that rolled over the lowlands behind the palace. But everything is covered in a rosy haze. Perhaps it is my imagination, not my memory, that is painting these pictures.
I found out the other day there's a DLC that adds like a freaky assassin lady, and you can romance her. I'm a bit sad I didn't get the DLCs before starting the game. Tell me about your life on the station.
My stay on the station was wholly dedicated to preparing me for my future duty. Astromancy, astrography, numerology, the histories of my house and the Imperium, as well as other disciplines. For many years, dozens of instructors tirelessly prepared me for my destiny. And once a year, Great Regent Alronto would come to the station. He would entrust his beautiful vessel to my command, so that I could master the practical aspects of our art as well.
Did you have friends? Someone that you could turn to for a simple conversation? Just a discussion of yet another lecture?
The Regent gave me a bird from a sunlit planet once. I tried to befriend it and make it sing, but for some reason, it refused and died soon after.
That's fucked up.
The instructors were too respectful of my duty to my house to waste precious time on idle chatter. Aside from them, there were only servants on the station. And you know they have their vocal cords removed, so they cannot break their vow of silence.
Oh.
And since the subject has been breached, Lord Captain, why do you not follow this honored tradition? Your decks are so garish. Apologies. I meant noisy. The rabble don't just chatter. Sometimes they shout and even sing. Why do you allow such a lack of restraint? Rogue traders are highborn, are they not?
You can't just call my deck garish. You've only just met. You have a point. It's about time we made the decks quieter. I will have to lower rank stripped of their vocal cords. Oh. God, that's anything for you, princess. I like the noise people make here. It fills the ship with life.
With life? Ugh, if only you could take my place and watch this kaleidoscope. Every voice is a flash of color. Every conversation a shimmering glow. Every argument is an unstoppable swirl of gaudy splotches.
Have you tried just like not being here? I can get you a sensory deprivation tank if you like. Your third eye, do you always conceal it?
The Navigator's open eye is baneful to whoever the warp's ruinous shine falls upon, and therefore it is the symbol of our power. We are the guiding stars of humanity, found worthy of an uncommon gift, and one of the duties that we bear is to guard our eye, even from wayward glances that may bear evil.
I guess in all fairness to her, being raised with the education and power that she is a guiding star of humanity, she was probably gonna turn out a bit pompous.
Besides, I am aware that lesser servants of the Imperium may find our appearance repulsive. The Navigator gene twists the features the rabble are used to seeing, and the magnificence of our role cannot be grasped by their feeble minds.
Flirting. Fuck it, why not? I'm just gonna flirt with everyone. You're beautiful, Cassia. Do not let anyone or anything convince you otherwise.
I hear you are much too kind to me, Lord Captain. Allow me, for my part, to note the beauty of your shoulders? Yes, your shoulders. Pray let us change the subject.
God, I hit her hard with that one, didn't I? that really took me off guard. That was hilarious. Fucking the stunned. Oh. What does it feel like to guide a vessel through the warp?
It may be difficult to describe.
There we go. You've turned it off again.
You see, every navigator perceives the warp differently. My mentor, Great Regent Elronto, always described his travels through the Immaterium as a journey through a vast wood with countless paths. And I, assisting him in the first voyages, futilely tried to follow his example. But the wood would not reveal itself to me.
And if you want some wood revealed to you... Sorry.
But everything changed when I found my own key to this mystery. You see, I've always brightened up my rare moments of leisure time by painting. You may recall there was a workshop in my chambers. As soon as I imagined the wall as a blank
truly do not
canvas,
recall that, actually.
an indescribable feeling came over me. I moved the brush, going deeper and deeper into my own painting. Visions were hidden within the vibrant colors of my palette, and something inside me knew which should be brought out and which should be left behind. I woke up several days later, after the voyage was safely complete.
So she sees the warp like painting. I noticed that your love of painting is reflected in your speech as well. You associate so many images with hues and colors.
The Emperor graced me with a gift. I can see inner life in addition to the mundane. You cannot know that a fruit has rotten from the inside until a blade slices it in two. I can see the rot from far away. It roils like swamp mud, oozing through the bright peel. Anger and boredom, sadness and joy. Everything that people shut away inside themselves is revealed to me like colors on the canvas of my world.
Why don't we talk about something else?
You will hear no objection from me, Lord Captain.
Like that. She beautifully describes how she sees the world, and then I'm just like, yeah, well, what about something else? What do your elf eyes see? Sorry, what does your special sight reveal?
Sister Argenta shines like a guiding star, inspiring resolve in those around her, seemingly inexplicably. However, I see a dark and ugly fog billow behind her, contrasting sharply with her shining light. It burdens the Sister of Battle. It drags her down. Yet Argenta herself is hardly aware of it.
Right. But more importantly, do you think she's open? No? Okay, never mind. It's called Aura.
Seneschal Viserion is among the few whose colors are a pleasure to look at.
Oh my.
Whenever the Seneschal speaks, heavenly crystal clarity spreads around him.
I feel the exact same way.
He is angered, dark blue clouds condense over him. And in his rare moments of joy, a pure gleam of sunset pink
Just
caresses
a wholesome
the
dude.
souls of those near him. Out of your entire retinue, Lord Captain, he is the only one I would trust with my life.
We've heard it straight from the mouth of the Navigator. Our boy Abelard. 10 out of 10. Perfect boy. Can't go wrong. Listen, you know, I feel similar things when I look at Seneschal Viserion.
The esteemed Magos Haneman is shattered, like a beautiful stained glass window into a mosaic of colors. His bright, beckoning hues are mixed together in complete disarray. I must confess it perplexes me. Normally, scarlet and steel are all that fills the heart of a servant of the Omnissiah.
That's a gorgeous description of the Magus.
Behind the cobalt steel of his thoughts, behind the cold, faded gray of his emotions, an ember, the color of amber, glows in Master Van Calox's soul. So bright and warm, one is tempted to touch it. It is sad that the interrogator seeks to drown it with his own hands in the bottomless blue of duty. Sad indeed, but I can relate.
I mean, have you got a thing there for Van Calox? Yeah. Oh, do me.
Idira's emotions are like a maelstrom, bright, unbridled, enveloping her form like a wondrous kaleidoscope of colors. And as dangerous as a twisting warp storm. The riot of colors hides the truth from my eyes. What exactly is driving this woman? Is it her own will, or is it the Immaterium, Lord Captain?
Idira is an interesting one. I need to take her on more missions. Tell me about House Orcelio.
As the only voice of our family on this vessel, it is an honor. As long as your questions are courteous, I will answer every one of them.
I take it House Orcelio has a rich history?
Oh, yes. The navigators of the house came to the Coronis Expanse fairly recently, a mere 208 years ago. Before that, our ancestors expanded the borders of humankind's dominion for the glory of the Emperor, blazing trails to different corners of the galaxy.
And who rules the house?
Just as a rogue trader stands at the head of a protectorate, a Novator heads a navigator house. It is the Novator who decides where to look for alliances and which path their bloodline is destined to tread. As for our house, a transfer of power to a successor is currently underway. In the meantime, Great Regent Auronto Orcelio is ensuring the stability of the house.
You lived in seclusion on a closed station until Felic committed his sabotage? So then you must be the Novator's successor.
So says Regent Auronto. Nothing is decided yet. Some people in the house become enshrouded in rolling grey clouds at the thought of me becoming the Novator. But even more are bound with dull leaden chains. They think I am not ready for such a burden.
Is your Celio prophecy system named after your ancestor?
You are shrewd indeed.
Hehe,
My
big brain.
ancestor charted that route while fleeing the enemies of humanity. They say the
She
Emperor
thinks I'm
himself
clever.
was his guide, because the warp expelled their vessel without a single loss. Unfortunately, the lips of those who relate this tale seep with disgusting green hubris. I think Kalain Orselio was simply a skilled navigator.
And we'll talk about something else.
By all means.
Bye.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
I'd like to talk about something else, specifically how I'm going to leave. Oh, hello, Pups Draven. Thank you for the stretch. Let me do that. Wah. Ah. Ooh, I needed that. Big stretch. Oh shit, I can equip the shotgun that they gave me. That could be sick. I don't think that'll be much use on me. See what, Abelard, you have the shotgun. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Have a good look, pups. Have a lovely, lovely time. Thank you. Oh, I see. The shield does actually take up 2 slots. That's a little bit disappointing. We're on board the ship. We should be wearing our coat right now without the armor. Hey, Argenta.
Greetings.
Tell me about the Adeptus Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
Am I mad, or does Argenta sound completely different when she's like off duty? I say off duty when she's not in combat, or being like she sounds really different here. Like she just sounds like a really like peppy, cheerful woman, you know? It's like hi there. She's a 3-dimensional character, you're right. She isn't permanently going like, you know, pure fanatic. When she's not being a crazy fanatic warrior, she's a peppy fangirl of the Emperor. They say the Adeptus Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
I like how cheerfully she says that. With a bolter. Oh, sisters, truly as faultless as you say.
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best. tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness.
Now, Argento, I don't want you to show fault or weakness, but you'd look pretty good in the Sister Repentia outfit.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
It would be kind of funny, since it's an RPG, if there was a way to basically make Argento turn into a Repentia by just like twisting, making her do something fucked up. So she had to become a Repentia. Like when you play Knights of the Old Republic and you make some of the characters join you when you become a Sith or something, you know? What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
You said you belonged to Calixian branch of your order? What brought you to the Coronis Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Parsimus Duane, the station's founder.
Are there any other members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Coronis Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
I tell you what, the Sisters of Battle 100% deserve a Space Marine style game. That'd be the sickest shit ever. I have no more questions about the Sisterhood.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Tell me about yourself.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
Oh no. She has no personal identity. Shit. How did she end up with Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the cultist attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that I
had the hots for the former rogue trader. Sorry?
I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded.
Oh shit.
Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, where crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more. And it's bound to happen someday.
Sounds like a character story to me. Is it difficult for you to accept that you made a mistake?
It happens even to the best of us.
Look, she's
My
out of
mistakes
Sorry.
are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
As a voice actress put her all into that first line, Jesus. I felt like I genuinely offended someone. Sorry, Argenta. It happens to the best of us. Shut the fuck up. Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
She's a bit sensitive to this subject, I think. We could go to that planet to deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
What was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the Medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship.
I love that this is now the second character we've spoken to in a row that's like an Abelard. So good. Just unprompted. It's just like an Abelard. Oh god, I fucking love Abelard. Just 10 out of 10. Love him. So good. He's just like the best guy in the world, you know? He's so good at his job and he's so cool and brave and sexy. And they're right, you know?
But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
Argenta really was just like, is just Adira's biggest hater. Like, I don't have any more questions.
As you wish.
Let's just move on before you start suggesting we execute Adira. What is it that keeps you in my retinue?
The ship was targeted by heretics, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary, but for now, I wish to remain a part of the Rogue Trader's crew.
I enjoy your company, Argenta. I hope that you remain in the crew and that this ship becomes your home.
Those are very courteous words, Rogue Trader. Thank you, both for your words and your hospitality.
She gives you another somewhat puzzled look. It's like, are you trying to flirt with me? I'm a sister of battle. Shut up. Thank you for this conversation. Like, we don't do that here. It's only ruined my heart for the Emperor. Hello, Ravor. That's fine. I don't want to talk to you right now because you haven't got voice acting and I want to rest my voice. Heinrichs. So about you flirting with me before. Heinrichs looks at you intently, his head tilted. He's a fucking puppy. It's like, huh? It's like a fucking dog. Dad boy. I know nothing about you, Heinrichs. Could you tell me a little about yourself?
I'm usually the one interested in the pasts of those around me, not the reverse. I come from a night world, Guizorn 3. I belong to a branch of one of the noble houses until my exceptional abilities were discovered. After that, I was sent on a black ship to Holy Terra, where I was trained and I began my service for the glory of the Imperium.
Seeing you make that joke about mum, mum, I find it so funny watching people who aren't British play that new 007 game. Because obviously all the British characters are saying mum, because that's how you say it. But because of the accents, all these like Americans and other stuff are being like, oh, why is he calling everyone mum? And it's like, shut up. So it wasn't funny the first time. They're saying mom. You're the 1000th person to be like, oh, mom. It's like, shut it. Oh, it's getting old. Anyway, I had to vent about that real quick. It's been peeing me off at every 007 First Light playthrough I've watched. Every time someone says mom, it's like... Anyway. Do you remember your home planet?
I do, but I have no ties to my homeworld now. None except my first name. I left Guizorn 3 when I was still a child. My family disowned me, stripping me of my family name. I was given a new one by those who trained me. Even for a noble, being branded a psyker is a mark of eternal shame. I experienced that firsthand before I was put on the black ship.
Yeah, Bond has got like a permanent smug face. It's got like that Pixar smile at all times. It's still mind-blowing to me that we now have a Zoomer Bond who is younger than me. I don't know if the actor is. I'm curious, actually. I presume the actor is older than the character he is portraying. That's usually the case. First Light actor. Yeah, Patrick Gibson. Yeah, no, he's older. Yeah, so he's older than Bond canonically is in First Light, because the actor's 31. But he's playing a 26-year-old Bond set in 2026. It's also really weird to hear them say His Majesty's Secret Service. I'm still not used to that even as a Brit, right? Like hearing His Majesty. Doesn't feel right. How did you discover your abilities?
Like many psychers unaware of their curse, I found out when a strong emotional reaction triggered an involuntary response. My great-aunt had a pet grink. One day, it bit me, and I boiled it from inside out. And when my great-aunt slapped me for what I'd done, I boiled her too.
Oh, Heinrichs, you're a little bit fucked up. Okay. I did accidentally romance him, if you recall. I had the achievement that happened because I just said like one line that felt relatively normal. And I got an achievement that said enter a romance. And it's like, huh? Turns out I don't know how Warhammer people flirt, so I picked an option that was apparently flirty by Warhammer standards. At least it was more obvious when I was flirting with the with Cassia. What's a grink? I want to know what a grink is. Warhammer 40k grink. Oh, maybe it's supposed to be a Grinix? It's just some kind, I guess it's just some kind of random made up animal they've come up with just for... Because it's spelt differently. Yeah. They probably just made up an animal name. Sorcerer's powers are truly dangerous. I don't know what I'm more surprised by, the absurdity of this story or the fact you're capable of showing such a show of emotion. I feel like I want to unflirt with him. Because I didn't want to enter a romance. So I'm just going to be a bit rude.
I don't consider raw emotions to be a necessity in everyday communication. But let me assure you that I am more than capable of anger. Fortunately for others, I learned to focus it. Properly measured rage reveals the full potential of combat psychana, in much the same way as aged cheese reveals the notes of a mature amasek.
This is going to sound weird, but even though Heinrichs is like a really powerful, wide man built like a brick shithouse with super psycho powers and is a scary inquisitor, I look at him and I just kind of think he's a slightly wet, pathetic man. He just gives me big bottom energy. The haircut probably isn't doing any favors. Tell me about the black ship.
Picture a vast prison ship filled with frightened, angry psychers who can't control their abilities.
I think it's because his like
homes and their families.
Aura isn't coming naturally to me. It feels performative.
Like I was. Some were monstrous creatures who no longer had the right to be called human, or psychopaths who reveled in their impure powers.
I mean, especially after that show of emotion he had, recalling his psycho powers and learning about them. I feel like potentially he's a bloke who's putting on a bit of a show, and I mean, it's probably required as an Inquisitor, right? You've got to put on a face. And I feel like you can kind of see through that veneer a little bit that he's a bit broken. And a little bit emotional. Especially with the flirting stuff before. There was almost like a bit of, well, hey, I get to do normal person things and flirt a little bit. Well, hey, you know?
Once, when one of the miscreants broke free, those in command simply depressurized the bay and got rid of the culprit, along with the prisoners and crew tainted by him. But even after that, I heard the echo of inhuman suffering and terror that filled that part of the ship. It grieves me to recall that episode to this day.
Yeah, he's a surprisingly emotional Inquisitor, isn't he? Like, he's not like what you stereotypically imagine a Warhammer Inquisitor to be like. He's got a lot going on. You were sent to the Inquisition straight after training.
No. First, I was accorded the status of a psyker fit for service in the Imperial Guard, where I then spent several years. It was only afterward that I became an agent of the Golden Throne.
Damn, he survived being a guardsman psyker? Okay, Heinrichs. Let's talk about something else. How long have you served in the Inquisition?
since the day of my initiation as an acolyte. So, decades. How many real years it's been, it's hard to say. When I return from a journey through the warp, I often discover that much more or much less time has passed in real space.
I guess that is sort of a dumb question when you are a Warhammer character. Like, why would I say, oh yeah, how long have you been doing this for? It's like, we know full well that nothing works in normal time in Warhammer. Like, how many years have I been doing this? God knows. We were in the warp. It could have been like a year had passed. I don't know. You've visited many worlds during your service, I'll wager.
Indeed. I have visited many of the places brought to the Emperor's light, and those sullied by the filth of the archenemy. In truth, even after all these years spent visiting the various corners of the Imperium and looking beyond its borders, I still consider the Segmentum Solar to be the greatest of all humanity's bastions. Nothing compares to the majesty of Holy Terror, the might of Mars, the grandeur of the Segment's other worlds.
What duties have you been carrying out for the Inquisition? Various unforgivable war crimes.
You can't really be expecting me to answer that question, can you?
The interrogator returns your look and smiles, but thanks to the expression in his ice-cold eyes, the effect is rather unnerving. For somebody who's been in the service for decades, you certainly look young. He's going to take that as a flirt again, isn't he?
The first step for biomancers such as myself is to take control of the processes of their own body, including aging. I've endured
he's an old man.
hazards in my work. If I allowed every trace of them to remain, I would look completely different today.
Let's change the subject.
Gladly.
You're not the Inquisitor's only acolyte, correct?
Of course not. The Lord Inquisitor's entourage comprises dozens of people. The best of the best. Experts in various fields and disciplines. Some of them I know personally. Others I have never met. To be honest, I'm not even certain that the people I know are still alive. I used to work with other acolytes of the Lord Inquisitor, but in the Coronis Expanse, I have been working alone.
I'm not saying that first one. That's going to be a... Don't you get lonely? It's like, no. I'm not risking it. I'm not doing another accidental romance of Heinrich's. He's not doing it for me. I thought maybe he might, but he doesn't. He just doesn't.
No.
If you're fine, I'll do it. Wandering among the stars without friends or family, don't you get lonely?
I had never even considered such a thing before you asked. Perhaps I do. Sometimes.
Sorry? That's incredibly forward. Let's talk about something else. If you're an interrogator, does that mean you hold a special position to retinue?
We are not a retinue. We are acolytes. As for your question, I am closer than anyone else to the one I call my personal teacher. The Lord Inquisitor deemed me worthy of undertaking the most important and sensitive tasks requiring the attention of agents of the Golden Throne.
See, part of it for me is he scoffs too much when I ask a simple question. I don't like that sentence, Albion. Never say that ever again. God damn it. Then other acolytes in the Coronis Expanse. The interrogator narrows his eyes at you and releases a disappointed sigh. He's like, stop asking questions about an Inquisition. We just stop asking. Let's talk about something else.
Such as?
What can you do as a psyker?
The Lord Inquisitor was most insistent that I master the discipline of Santic Demonology. I use my faith and my power to crush the enemies of the Imperium. Servants of chaos tremble at the sound of the Emperor's name, uttered by my lips. I am also a skilled biomancer. I can manipulate bodily processes. Sometimes I resort to those skills in the course of my work, when it is necessary to make the subject of an interrogation more cooperative.
I must take my leave. He's doing the hand-to-ear thing with like headphones. Like, oh, can I actually put my hand to my ear? I don't think I can. Oh, like this. Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, of course. Can I flirt with Pascal? Yeah, what that McAndrite do, dude?
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
I want to know the truth about you. Huh?
The request is approved. I did conceal certain information. I was a student of Archmagos Amanat, but I committed an act of betrayal after he deviated from sacred dogma.
What did Armanat do?
He fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded, because by refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things.
Oh, so he had a slightly differing opinion of the universal law. So you betrayed him?
My mentor put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and false worship of the Omnissiah. He sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition because he saw the inevitable demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
I don't believe in incompatible. You just aren't trying hard enough to think of ways to make it work. Come on, be creative. Certain aspects of the Imperium, if needed, have indeed ossified. His argument sounds reasonable. The Amanat of yours is dyed in the wool of a heretic. That seems like a theological argument, not a political one. Fascinating.
Acknowledged.
How did you betray Amanat?
The teachings of the blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy. Many tech priests suddenly vanished or were subjected to servo penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat, whose number included many enlightened and respected tech priests, resisted. My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizance fleet. That was when I headed to the Conclave.
Okay.
I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the Conclave. Brazen anthematic studies of the Forbidden Law. The Conclave could use that data to summon Archmagos Amanat, to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
You acted as a loyal son of, as a loyal son of the Imperium should.
I pray that the Omnissiah grants us wisdom to overcome the dialectic differences that divide us.
So why did you go to Rykad Minoris?
I was summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the Blessed Amanat's personal code, and could be interpreted in several ways. One thing was certain. We were in danger, and I had to go to Rykad Minoris.
The tech priest named Abel. Who is he?
I never met him, but I think he was a person of worth. The phrase that came from his lips indicates he was in contact with my mentor. I preserved his cortical implant and absorbed the information it contained. However, the large amounts of data memories are encoded with a cipher yet unfamiliar to me.
What are you going to do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the blessed Archmagos Amanat, who assumed the guise of Abel Haneman. But there is a connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link.
I have no more questions.
Acknowledged. I will return to ruminating on the search for the blessed Amanat.
I want to know more about your past.
The request is approved. I have no outright restrictions on disclosing this information.
Where are you from?
Information about my origins is worthless. I belong to the priesthood of explorators and came to the Coronis Expanse over 200 years ago. Any events preceding that moment are insignificant.
I like that. He's like, I can talk to you about my past. I have no restrictions. So where are you from? It doesn't matter. How did you end up in the Coronis Expanse?
I was honored to become a member of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. When the Adeptus Mechanicus summoned the faithful for an exploratory venture into the depths of the Coronis Expanse, I joined the fleet in fulfillment of my sacred vows of comprehension.
Why are you not with the fleet then?
After I betrayed Archmagos Amanat, the fleet conclave directed me to the orbital station Altar Templum Calixis X-17 for penance. This venerable temple station was founded in the early years of our expansion into the Coronis Expanse. It is currently a rear observation post of the Cognizance fleet in orbit around the star Furibundus.
Who are the Explorators?
The sacred fraternity of explorers. The cult Mechanica sends us out to the frontiers of the known sectors as researchers and conquerors. We are the warriors of the code, who return to the lost worlds and devote themselves to recovering the lost ancient knowledge.
That's incredibly badass. Good for you, Pascal.
Explorators are granted the privilege of being more independent than many of our tech comrades. However, it has earned us a reputation as unstable and poorly controlled troublemakers whose unorthodox views are dangerously close to apostasy.
Hell yeah. Tell me about your mecha dendrites, Pascal. What they do?
They are my younger brothers
Oh.
and guides.
That makes it weird now.
To the Omnissiah. Their machine spirits are directly bound to my neocortex and pick up impulses from my subconscious. Sometimes they act ahead of my thoughts. This is how the Omnissiah leads me to comprehension.
We can stop there.
Acknowledged.
Tell me more about the Adeptus Mechanicus. I do love the Adeptus Mechanicus.
I am honored to belong to the priesthood of Mars, guided by its tenets. We safeguard technology against the impure and the unenlightened.
I'll tell you what, that's a lot of dialogue options.
Acknowledged. May your...
I am going to I swear I had a different secondary weapon before. What was it? I guess I could have the shotgun. That could be neat. Could also just use the sniper rifle. I will talk to Pascal in more detail next time, but we are at the 3-hour mark and I have work tomorrow, so I don't want to exhaust myself. So we're going to find a raid target. So everyone, do you please stick around while I do that? There won't be a stream tomorrow. I need to have at least one day of rest before my big stream on Friday. As mentioned on my Discord, it will start a bit earlier so that we can hang out a bit prior to the collab. Because once I'm doing the collab, I will be a lot less interactive with chat. But if we're there to celebrate my birthday, I would like to interact with chat for a bit. So we'll play some party games prior to the collab, right? Sounds like a good time? Yeah, sounds like a good time. So that'll be 6 p.m. BST. And then 8 p.m. BST will be when me and all the other European guests plus Gwyndelf are playing Super Battle Golf. Then at about 9 BST, we will be joined by iTown, as he will be free from work. He is on American time zones, so he has to shop later. And then with any luck, Exalted Emily, unfortunately, would have to wake up early. So she will be relying on an alarm, God bless her, to wake up really early to join the Super Battle Golf. So hopefully she makes it. It would be lovely to have her. But yeah, we're going to have at least 4 people there at 8 p.m. joining me. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Elisra, Ogre Daddy, Princess Jelly and Gwyn have all said they will be there for the 8 p.m. start. And then Itan and Exalted Emily are joining later. So that'll be fun. Speaking of guests, Gwyn is playing Chibi Robo, which is seemingly an old game for... What was it originally for? Looks like it was originally made for the GameCube in 2005. So let's go rate Gwyn. And tell her she's cute. Right. See you around, gang. Until we next convene.
No.